Emperor's New Groove, a story that, despite its name, has 0 musical numbers in it. But if we shift the perspective from the Emperor turned llama and instead focus on the villain of the story, Yzma, and then it becomes a story about getting absolutely bodied by cartoon logic and your own henchman. But to understand that, let me just put you in her shoes. So imagine for a second that you are Yzma, royal advisor to the Empire of the Incas, the largest North-South empire in history, as well as one of the few quasi-communistic states to have ever existed without getting their freedom treatment by America. Of course, in this society, everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others, like priests, advisors, and whatever. You are a little bit of a witch, able to create potions, tinctures, which is sort of your pet project. Being an advisor is great. You get to help the emperor make decisions or something. Well, right now that part of your job description is rather lacking because your current emperor is, well, a bit of a dick. Imagine your surprise when you are quite literally just trying to help him with some boring grunt work. You know, some peasants complaining about food scarcity or something. What the fuck do they think this is? A state where all national resources are collected and distributed based on need? Who cares about farmers? The food they grow is for important people. It's not your fault they're poor. They shouldn't have chosen to be farmers. Again, what do they think this is? A society where everyone has jobs allocated to them? But apparently, Mr. Emperor doesn't appreciate you helping him and doing your civic duties. And of course, not at all trying to usurp his authority. Nope, that's not happening. He fired you?
What can I say? You're being let go, your department being downsized, you're part of an outplacement. We're going in a different direction, we're not picking up your option. Take your pick. We got more.
Damn, he didn't even send you to HR and still gave you the whole spiel though. You're upset. Especially about that comment about peaking 50 years ago. You still have plenty of peak left, and with your new sidekick, Crank or Grump or whatever his name is, like seriously, after like 20 of these, they kind of start to blend into one. But actually this one is slightly less capable to what you're used to. But what he lacks in brain, he makes up for in... Well, he still hasn't made up for it yet, but maybe one day he will. It's not like you have anyone else lining up to help you anyway. Something about being the most evil thing that anyone has ever seen. With you and your henchman, you devise a plan to poison Cusco and take the crown for yourself, because apparently in this empire, succession isn't based on bloodline, not that the runt has any kids, but actually it will be passed laterally to the advisor instead of any other nearby relatives. Wait, does he actually have any relatives? Well, who knows, but it's a cartoon, so this is what we're going with. And so you and your little big henchman get busy setting up a nice wholesome meal. And I mean, like, Kronk even gets carried away by the situation.
Oh, right, the poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
He absolutely sounds like someone whose girlfriend would run away with a bee. But actually, despite all conceivable odds, this works, because apparently Cusco is so blinded by arrogance that a small amount of platitudes and, well, ego stroking means that he wouldn't even know what an assassination attempt was, even if it killed him. And he accepts a drink from a random guy like it's nothing. Truly, he would be terrible in a nightclub. So these people would be better off without him, because, like, where you're evil, like truly evil, he's something even worse. He is a narcissist. At least when you rule the world and think about the misery you're about to cause your own people, well, you're doing it for your own benefit, and you're doing it with intent. But him, he just does it all without even realizing. What he's doing is wrong, but he thinks it's right, which isn't right, is it? Oh. Well, at least he knows how to do inconspicuous hand gestures. Your last minion, well, he was just much better. Holy crap, man. And it works. Okay, cool. Yeah, that fucking works. Yep. The Emperor is extremely stupid. But that's, well, I mean, it's pretty good for you, because now you, Yzma, can be ruler. And honestly, this really wasn't as difficult as you were expecting. We're not even in the second act of the film.
Okay. Whoa.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
Now toast to your long and
Oh, this is what happens when you have 100 potions of all different creatures lying around. So you tried to gesture to that moron to knock him out. He doesn't have a fucking brain cell in him.
Best possible way.
Okay, so that worked. But how did you... But the human poison is different from the animal transformation thing. Oh, Kronk, you moron. All we need to do now is remove the body and things will all be right? And for some reason, your henchman doesn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation.
Frank, this is kind of important.
You've just committed regicide.
How about dessert?
Well, I suppose there's time for dessert.
Luckily, the next time you see Kronk, I mean, he's a bit shifty, but he said he did it, and something about a devil doing push-ups or something convincing him.
No. He's got a point.
Whatever, fine, that's... okay. You just have to take his word for it, because, well, you can. Kronk is many things. He's stupid, he's brainless, he's incompetent, but one thing that he is not. He is not a liar. He is so devoid of any real intelligence and cunning that the thought of lying doesn't even cross his mind. And why he's perfect for you. Although people do think that you're in a relationship with him, which is weird. But you do a beautiful ceremony, like if you do say so yourself. Everything was thrown together in all but 20 minutes, but it's perfect. And Kronk plays his part perfectly, cries on cue, does everything that you need him to. But of course, no one in this empire likes Cusco, so...
We ain't getting any deader. Back to work.
Convincing them to accept you as ruler is as easy as that. You even get the whole kingdom done up in 30 minutes. Everything a monument to you and your glory. Don't you just love cartoon logic sometimes? It really does make things so easy. I mean, this is why you killed him, honestly, because you knew it was for the greater... No, it wasn't for the greater good. No, it's because you knew no one would miss him and you would be able to take the throne for yourself.
He's dead, all right. He is right now, unless, of course, we killed him again.
But this is strange, even for Kronk. It's like he's hiding something.
But do you need to hear all those words exactly?
He's still alive?
Oh, so he can lie. Brilliant. Well, at least Kronk had the decency to compliment your eulogy
Especially after that lovely eulogy.
before stabbing you in the f***ing back. Being dependent on this lump is an exercise. But if you want something done right, you need to do it yourself.
You and I are going out to find him.
And you're old, you're experienced. Like, doing things yourself is what you've always done. You are a woman in a patriarchal society. This is what you do. So you head off to find this Llama King. Unfortunately with Kronk, of course, because while you're intelligent, capable and everything, you still need muscle. And also that's because you need a palanquin bearer. And luckily enough for you, Kronk is enough for 2 people. So anyway, after what feels like an eternity, you get Kronk to pull over because you need a nap, you need a rest, you know, it's just how things are when you get to that age. You need to change your diaper. Wait, what? Did I say that out loud?
These are my best shoes, Mr.
Cartoon logic. Everything happens all at once and specifically directed at you. But just as you're processing the trauma of being alive and covered in jungle gunk, you see that Kronk is there having a moment with the chipmunk. Great, so now he's talking to animals. What else could go wrong? Oh, so he can actually talk to... Is this real life? Did you accidentally take some psychedelic mud or something?
Why me? Why me?
Giving you attitude?
Could you give us a little room here?
Like the current ruler of the empire, by the way, and this little is essentially saying you're worth less than it? Crazy. And wait, hang on a second. You should be a guinea pig, and then that way we can eat him later. After negotiating with a squirrel, you do get the information that you need, but you stop for lunch.
Anything on this menu that is not swimming in gravy?
Hang on, I'll go ask the chef.
But for some reason, Kronk gets roped into working in the kitchen,
Oh, come on, make up your mind.
Okay. On second thought, make my potatoes a salad.
and he still can't even get your order right. Oh my god. This actually might be the worst day of your life. So you take a rest and get some well-earned beauty treatment, because of course you're only this beautiful because you take care of your skin and use sun cream. Bloody hell, he can't even let you sleep for a second before barging in, can he? At this rate, you're probably going to need a new henchman, and probably soon. But then, he tells you it all came together, okay? And that he knows who took Cusco, and where he is, okay? Some hick farm in the mountains where Cusco wants to make his Cusco-topia or whatever the fuck that was. Some other insane plan that he had. But you head there, and there is no Cusco there.
So, remind me again how you're related to Pacha?
Why, I'm his third cousin's brother's wife.
Just some random pregnant lady and a couple of kids who are trying to work you over. Like you can't see through their little game a mile away. She's hiding something, and you can smell it.
One fell off.
Good lord, he's... okay. Oh, it's good to know he'll be good with kids at least. So, using a pregnant woman's lack of ability to pick things up, you talk to Kronk.
When I give the word, we search the house.
All you want is for her to show you around the house, because probably they're hiding somewhere here.
I don't believe you're really my great aunt. You're more like my great.
And mostly because you want to escape that little runt implying that you're 700 years old or something. And I mean, like, you know, you just tell people that you're in your 40s. And it's believable because people just assume it's sun damage. But that woman locks you in a cupboard. The Emperor, well, Empress, in a cupboard. A random farming woman. But just as you're about to escape, you get hit by more cartoon logic. And it really is a double-edged sword. Anyway, you do end up chasing these two buffoons, and they try to escape off of a cliff. But you have cartoon logic on your side. That's the double-edged of it all. You can use it yourself. That's your witchcraft. When they say you're a witch, this is what they really mean. Your spells that you cast allow you to harness pure Looney Tunes logic. Okay, like, yeah, you might, at this point you might as well just accept that you are Wile E. Coyote. But you actually managed to beat them to the lab? Off screen, of course.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
See? Cartoon logic.
I bet you weren't expecting this.
Wait, so did they think you had a penis or something? Wait, do people think that because you're bald that you were born a man? Come on now.
Finish them off.
Just tossed me this knife and asked me to.
He needs to be institutionalized. It was one thing that he was talking to an animal, although that did somehow do something. But you have to consider at this point, did you accidentally give him a potion or something? Because they do get pretty mixed up. Or do you reckon he actually took one himself? Oh no. Anyway, you let this idiot have it, because you could finally release that pent-up frustration you feel.
I've never liked your spinach puffs.
And oh boy, it feels good. Huh. Well, that was close. And he kind of forgets that you are a witch of cartoon logic.
Oh, does this?
Should have seen that coming.
This kind of thing doesn't work on you. You might get tarred and feathered. You might get struck by a single cloud of lightning. But a chandelier? No. They need something stronger. Much stronger. So you mix up the potions and sick the royal guards on them. Because, well, they need something to do occasionally. They've just been sitting around scratching their bums.
I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home?
Yeah, to be fair, if you were turned into a cow, you'd probably want to go home too. But of course, the guards make Kronk look useful. And you find yourself in a situation again where you literally cannot rely on a single person in this world. And just as you're about to win the day and get the potion... Why? Why did it have to be a cat? Why not something big and strong like a lion? There was a potion of a lion or a tiger or some shit a minute ago, and you get the cat? Fine. You end up in a little scuffle with these buffoons and get your hands on the potion. It seems that despite all of the other potions exploding fucking instantly, by the way, this one is impossible. It doesn't open. Brilliant. Cartoon logic strikes again.
Uh-oh.
But you dropped it, and you, of course. Luckily, you're a cat, though, and it seems like you're falling more than 3 stories, so you're probably going to be okay.
Set it up.
Huh. That's handy. These aren't even invented for another, like, 500-600 years. See? Cartoon logic. But you take a second to savor the victory. You, Yzma, are the greatest person to have ever lived. The most amazing and magnificent and wonderful ruler there will ever be. Under your rule, the world will enter an era of...
Whoa, what are the odds that...
Yes, Kronk, what are the odds? But that's actually maybe true, because frankly, there's only one thing more powerful than cartoon logic. And that's plot armor. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I would say that at 100,000 I'm going to cut my hair and donate it to charity, but I'm sure you can figure that one out right now. Yes, I donated it to charity. Here's a picture of it. Thank you so much for subscribing and being here. This is awesome. 100,000 of you have decided, despite all reason or logic or really anything, that for some reason I'm worth watching over and over again. I don't understand it myself, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I truly appreciate it. I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Good Old Granite and Alexander Colburn and Jay. I know you're not a member right now, but thank you for your support over these months. I really appreciate it. And of course, Mr. Ventura, Alyssa, Lavender, Zyla, and Alan. Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me be here. Have a great day and have a great life.